Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who appeared to us in the person of Master W. Farid Muhammad, to whom praises are forever due. Further bear witness that Allah rose the exalted Christ, the Mahdi, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And it is in his name and in the name of his servant, our brother and friend, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that I greet you all who may be tuning into this non-traditional episode of Maryam, What Do You Know About Islam? And the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Did I say the minister's name? If I didn't, I must repeat it right now. In his name, the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Yes, Assalamu alaikum. This is a non-traditional episode in the sense of, actually, I think it's more like the older episodes back in 2019, to be honest. I'm not doing How to Eat to Live today. I just had something that was on my heart. I've had a few things that have been on my heart for a while, and actually that's how this podcast used to go. I used to just once a week, whatever was on my heart that particular day or what transpired that week, I would find something within these teachings and within the Quran that helped guided me and got me through whatever situation that it was. So all praises due to Allah for that, because within doing that podcast, so many opportunities were blessed to come my way, and I'm forever grateful and thankful to Allah. I did it. It's funny. I made a list of things I wanted to speak about, but clearly we're here right now, so this is where we're going. I started that podcast because someone that I was watching quite frequently on these social media platforms said that we all have a voice. Allah gave us all inspiration, and I'm paraphrasing on what they said, but that we all should have a podcast. Now, how true that statement is, I don't know, but I heard it and I ran with it. Praise be to Allah. I heard it, ran with it, and although within, I was going to say in the beginning, I made a lot of, I don't want to say a lot. We're going to always make erroneous statements, because we are forever learning and forever growing. And I did listen back on some of the things that I've said before and was like, oh, that's actually not correct, or I may have a different outlook on it now. But all praise is due to Allah that I shared my view of it then, because it could help somebody, whoever is in that stage of development at that particular moment. There's always a purpose into what we say when we say it. So again, all praise is due to Allah. Nothing comes about without his active or permissive will. So that's why I started that podcast. Now, a bullet point that I had on this was, why do I create content? I create content because when I am an actress, a content creator, I am someone that was birthed to do this. That is, I have known that I was to do the work of inspiring and educating people through art since I was 4 years old. And I didn't know that it was going to take this course of action, but I am forever grateful to Allah that he allowed me to see how I can utilize my passion for content creation and just art development for my nation and for the upliftment of my people and for righteousness and to bring in the kingdom of Allah. I am so thankful, because for the first 30 years of my life, or I should say the first 25 years, 26 to 25 years of my knowing in that I wanted to pursue art, acting, singing, I didn't realize that it was supposed to be for Allah. I did not realize it was supposed to be for the upliftment of our people. I did not know that it was supposed to be for righteousness. All I knew is that I was inspired by seeing film and it bringing so many thoughts and emotions to me, and me already being a highly emotional person. I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. And I was going to do it for all of the wrong reasons and with all of the wrong intent and through all of the wrong means. So Allah did hold back some of the accomplishments that I wanted to have in the way that I wanted to pursue my career, but for the purpose of being where I am right now. And it's righteousness over everything. It's Allah and the kingdom of righteousness over everything. And so I am quite, in my heart of hearts, successful and living my dream and pursuing my purpose every day. And I could just not be more thankful. I know it's like, whoa, didn't know we were going here, but I really am. And I'm just so thankful to Allah for the opportunity. So clearly my emotions are at a higher level. I got some devastating news today. I won't go into the particulars of the news, but it was quite jarring. I laid in bed for a few hours because I needed it. And I had to be okay with being okay with saying, okay, well, I'm sad. I'm going to go ahead and be sad for a couple of hours. And after a couple of hours, I said, okay, it's time to go to work. We can't lay in bed all day. We can't lay in bed all day. So I got up and now I'm back to work. Within this news that I received, of course, it brings back up the thought that we do not belong to one another. We belong to Allah, and to Allah we all return. And I was watching a clip of an interview from our dear sister Angela Means, I believe her name is. She played the role of Felicia on one of my favorite movies, Friday, with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. And that has been one of my favorite films since I was about 6 years old, when of course I should not have seen that film, but what can you do? But anyhow, in that interview, she made a statement that I didn't agree with. I agree with a lot of what she said, and she's a woman after my own heart who wears her emotions quite rawly. It is what it is. But what she said was that we don't owe each other anything. And when I heard that, I said, I do not agree. Within this beautiful nation of Islam, we are taught that we should love brother. Matter of fact, not even in the nation of Islam, but in all of the scriptures of the Abrahamic scriptures, we are taught to love brother and sister as we love ourselves, to treat one another as we would want to be treated. So we do owe each other quite literally everything, because we want to love ourselves correctly. We want to give ourselves the best. Therefore, I must, and I am obligated, duty bound, to give you the best that I have of myself, so that the reciprocity, the peace of Islam can be. We're taught to do kind to all, to be kind and do kind to all people. So with the statement that she made that we don't owe each other anything, I knew I wanted to raise up the point of that we do owe each other everything. Because if we do not give each other the love and respect, it was funny because she kept making the statement of, why did no one care about Felicia? And that's the problem. No one cared about Felicia enough to check in on Felicia, because we walk around with the notion of thinking that we don't owe each other anything, but indeed we owe each other everything. So I love that she raised that point, because then it allows people to, one, question, well, do we not? She keeps asking, why did no one check on Felicia? And the fact that we owe each other, or making a statement that we owe each other nothing, inshallah, it allows people to see, well, maybe we do. Who told us that we don't owe each other anything? I made an episode a while back about the erroneous statements and ideologies that we have from Western man. That is an ideology of Western man, that we do not owe each other anything. So we're going to put that one in the trash can where it belongs. We're going to move forward in righteousness and love, knowing that I owe my sister my time, her time. I owe her truth. I owe her kindness. I owe her support, loyalty. We owe each other it all. Because why? We are directly from Allah, and we owe Allah everything. We owe Allah our lives. He surely didn't put us here to just be like, oh, I see my sister struggling. Well, God got her. No, he uses each one of us in order to help out one another. We don't believe in a spook God. We don't believe in the spirit. It is the God within us that allows him to operate within us to lift each other up. So if you see something and it has been put on your heart that you recognized it, you saw it, then it's your self-accusing spirit that should lead you to say, oh, I'm obligated. That's me over there. I have to go and do something about me that's over there. I have to go and help my sister. I have to go and help my brother. All praises due to Allah. But again, back to us not belonging to one another and that we belong to Allah. Forever knowing that we are all here for a short period of time, we are duty bound to do something within bringing in the kingdom of Allah. Like, again, I create content to inspire, to uplift, to be a vessel to be utilized by Allah to bring in this kingdom. So within all that we do, because vanity, all is vanity, which is true. Solomon got it right. All is vanity, but the struggle within what we do, we must strive to do it for the glory of Allah. Or it'll be known. Like, we recognize when people just do things for self-validation. Like, there are days that I'm not inspired, so I won't do anything. I've said this repeatedly. Like, I'm not going to just come on here and just be talking to speak, because I don't want it to be vanity. But there are days like today that I had to fight through to do this, because I wanted to give you the real and the raw of where I am right now. And this may be an erroneous thing, you know, Maryam, we're going to be truthful. Do I struggle with operating out of emotion? Yes. Am I getting better at it? I do believe so. Study Guide 18, Rising Above Emotions into the Thinking of Allah, Thinking of God. Oh, man, how truly blessed we are to have Minister Louis Farrakhan and Allah using him as a vessel, because we operate so improperly. And I always thought my emotions and having them be so peaked at all times is a strength. And I'm not going to say it's a weakness, but within them being always on the precipice of just being, I have to know how to control them so that I don't react out of emotion. Emotions are needed, but so is logic. And if you don't have the right amount of balance within utilizing logic, reason, and emotion, this is how America is here and why so much wildness in America exists, because America is actually quite an emotionally driven country. Let's see, where else where I want to go. Yeah, actually, those were the things that I wanted to speak about. I didn't intend for this to be a very long, it's not really a conversation, a very long statement. There was one last point in that I realized maybe yesterday. I am a lover of period pieces, meaning I love film noir. I love films that are set in the Edwardian or mostly the Victorian age. And so lately I've been watching, first I want to mention this, Nicholas Nickleby. Love that movie. So good. It is set in the Victorian Edwardian era. I think it's more Edwardian, but it's Edwardian because it's like the late 1850s, 18 somethings. Would that be Victorian? When did Victoria come into reign? Anyway, it's one of the two eras. I can't remember at the moment. Anyway, Nicholas Nickleby. It's a beautiful film by Charles Dickens. The story is by Charles Dickens, and they made it into a film. I implore everyone to watch it. It was so beautiful. At first, I wasn't going to finish it because of how wild it was in the beginning. Wild in the sense of the things that were happening were just tearing me down. I was like, this isn't what I thought I was watching. I thought I was watching a love story or something. And it was indeed a love story, but not the love story that I thought I was going into. And I'm glad that I stuck around to finish it because it all changed, and it was so moving and it was so inspiring, and I absolutely loved the character, that so much so that I purchased a vintage copy of the book. Can't wait for it to get here. I think it's going to be here in a couple of days. So, yes, that movie. Now, I've also been watching a lot of YouTube's. It's called Absolute History, and I've been watching some things about the Victorian era and decorum and courtship and marriage. And as I'm watching this, because within the Nation of Islam we go through the courtship process, which is quite lined up with it's just what the actual courtship process is. So if you watch anything about the Victorian courtship process is what we have within the Nation of Islam. I'm like, oh my gosh. As much as I love this era, I feel a lot like Elizabeth Bennet within not adhering to propriety so much, in the sense of within my decorum of male and female social etiquette, so to speak. So I posted a picture of me at the national training with a few of my brother friends. And I love my brothers so very dearly. I love my sister. I love the sisterhood. Like, I'm here all day for it. But as I'm watching this video last night on YouTube, and being a single lady, young lady in the nation, as much as I want to break the norms of like people having this stigma and the outlook of thinking like, oh, that's improper. Turns out, if I'm living in the truth of it all, it's improper. And because it's reputation. So within the Victorian era, a woman's reputation was everything. And if your reputation was tarnished, she probably wasn't going to get married by someone of respectability, because no respectable man is going to want to marry a woman that has a bad reputation, or what perceives to be a bad reputation, just because she's defiant within, I don't want to say capitulating, but conforming to social norms of proper decorum and etiquette within the time period she's living in. Now, the reason why I say I'm kind of like Elizabeth Bennet within the adhering to what's normal, if within today's society as a whole, of like outside of the nation or outside of the nation of righteousness within any religious sect, I would be adhering to social norms. It wouldn't be strange for a lone female to be with a group of males and it'd be like, I see nothing wrong here. Looks like a normal Thursday to me. So I would be, it's almost as if I'm fighting to be within a nation of righteousness. I'm fighting to uplift righteousness and all things that are correct, while simultaneously holding on to a part of society that has become normalized, that is, turns out, incorrect and improper. But it's only incorrect and improper because of most of the world doesn't operate in righteousness. So therefore, it's going to be deemed horrible and like, oh, what were you guys talking about? Turns out, that whole weekend, I was with my brothers most of that weekend, but we were only talking about righteousness. We were only talking about righteous etiquette and talking about the beauty of the nation and talking about the sisters in the nation and talking about Mother Clara, Mother Tanetta, Dr. Ava, and like literally that was our conversation for the 2 or 3 days that I was with these brothers, because they are in fact brothers within this nation who are striving to be the best FOI that they could possibly be. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. I'm grateful for that weekend. I'm internally grateful for that moment in time, because I was able to experience it before striving to be better within my etiquette. I am, because I want to be the best Maryam that I can possibly be, because my duty again is to be an inspiration and a light and a sister of observance for those coming after me, to then know, to have something to strive to be. Like I have so many women that I can look to and say, wow, yeah, but we're supposed to get better. We're supposed to elevate. We're supposed to grow. So if you look up anything Victorian era within etiquette, you can pretty much correlate it and line it up within our etiquette within the Nation of Islam, how we call each other brother and sister so and so. We don't use first names. Like we use their first name, but it's attached to brother or it's attached to sister. Like hearing someone refer to someone within the Nation of Islam without that title being present, you kind of be like, you know them? Like, and even if you do know them, but it's a sign of respect. And so within the Victorian era, you would never hear anyone call some Elizabeth Bennet just Elizabeth Bennet. It was Miss Bennet or Mr. Darcy, because it was improper. It is improper. I don't know. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see this. I don't know the correlation. I don't know. I love that period of time. I love the slow pacedness of it all. I love the reading and the writing and I love all of it. And it's beautiful because I see it within our structure. Therefore, I can live it more and lift it up even more within this time and be an inspiration for people to really like adhere to it because I already love it. So within the etiquette, there's more etiquette. You know, we're all striving. I'm actually not perfect and never will be perfect, but as long as I'm striving to be the best Mariam I can be, then I believe that I'll be forever, I pray to be forever in Allah's good graces. I feel my spirit's a little bit higher, so praise be to Allah that I'm ending on this note. Continue to do all that you can for your nation and continue to do all that you can for one another. We belong to one another. Give each other love. Give each other support. Give each other listening ear. Give each other advice. Don't be a yes man. Don't be a yes woman. Pull your sister and brother's coattail, within love. And always strive to be the best you that you can possibly be. And keep a prayer. And stay steadfast within patience and prayer. And I think it's time to sign off. So I leave you as I came before you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.